Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Amanda. Thank you so much for watching today. Today I am finally making my Lighten Up Affirmations video. Woohoo! It is the affirmations that I wrote based on Joyce Meyer's book, Eat the Cookie, Buy the Shoes. I would show it to you, but I don't own it yet. Maybe one day. But first, I want to preference it by explaining what the Big Five is, which I talk about in the affirmations. So in 2016, I noticed that I was getting headaches all the time. So I prayed and asked God, why am I getting so many headaches and what can I do to stop them? And God answered me with 4 things: sodas, sweets, pain meds, and caffeine. I was having too much of them, and that's why I was getting headaches. So I tried my darndest to cut those things out of my life, and I added number 5, pizza, because I noticed I was eating too much pizza too. You got all that? Great. Okay, so you ready? Let's go. Lighten Up Affirmations. Learn to lighten up. We need to lighten up. Give yourself permission to lighten up. You can change the entire atmosphere of your home simply by giving yourself permission to lighten up. We will probably become bitter and get a chip on our shoulder if we don't lighten up. Joyce says, I was definitely a person who needed to give myself permission to lighten up and not be so intense about basically everything in life. Don't be so intense. You deserve that cookie, and if I were you, I would go buy a pair of shoes to go with it, friend said to Joyce. There are times when we all need to eat the cookie and buy the shoes in order to help us finish what we have started, or as a way of celebrating something we have accomplished. Your cookie and shoes can be anything you enjoy. It can be a favorite food, a nap, a manicure or pedicure. You can play golf, go fishing, go to a ball game, or whatever helps you rest and refreshes you. Take bubble baths, or get out your tools and build something amazing, like Morgan Donner, as seen here in my picture. This is where she built lanterns. I'll link her video in the description. You'll want to check it out. You don't have to fit into some society mold. We are free to enjoy anything as long as it's not immoral or illegal. How to lighten up. Number 1, change your attitude. Change your approach to life. How we approach life makes all the difference in our quality of life. We can change our quality of life by changing our attitude towards the big and small things that usually irritate and or anger us. We need to be honest about what the real cause of our stress is. Is it really our circumstances in life, or is it the way we respond to those circumstances? Don't make up your mind to be upset when and if you don't get your way. Make up your mind to stay at peace and have a good attitude even when or if things don't go your way. You'll be happy if you get your way, and you'll be happy if you don't. See how many days you can go without getting into a bad mood or finding something to complain about. What your life amounts to is directly connected to what you think about yourself or think of yourself. Learn to say, I love God, I love people, I love myself, I love my life. No day needs to be ordinary if we realize the gift God is giving us when He gives us another day. An extraordinary attitude can quickly turn an ordinary day into an amazing adventure. As little Bilbo says, I'm going on an adventure. Joel says, your perception of yourself will determine what kind of life you live. As I Feel Pretty, the movie, says, change your mind, change your body, change your life. Number 2, stop making yourself feel guilty. How much time do you waste feeling guilty? We are not built for guilt. God never intended his children to be loaded down with guilt, so our systems don't handle it well at all. The source of guilt is the devil. Making people or yourself feel guilty about anything is not God's mode of operation. As believers in Jesus Christ and sons and daughters of God, we have been set free from the power of sin and guilt. See Romans 6, verse 6 through 10. Set it all free, all free, all free, which is one of my favorite songs from the movie Sing. There's a picture, a little porcupine. Sadly, if we're not confident about our choices, we can easily let other people's comments or our own self-criticism rain on our parade and make us feel guilty. Don't be so intense about every mistake you make. Stop punishing yourself for everything you view as a mistake or a failure. Satan will definitely try to make us feel guilty about our sins, faults, and weaknesses, even when we haven't done anything wrong. There is no sin in eating a cookie. We could eat a dozen cookies and it wouldn't be a sin, and it wouldn't be a sin. It would not be a good and or wise choice, but it would not be a sin in the true sense of the word. Remember that you never really fail if you keep pressing forward. And God is ready to forgive your faults, mistakes, and sins if you simply ask him to. Joyce says, I was once addicted to guilt. The only time I felt right was when I felt wrong. I especially had difficulty enjoying myself because I didn't feel I deserved it. End quote. Most people feel guilty when they take the opportunity to celebrate. Do something you like and enjoy and don't feel guilty about it. And don't let workaholic, out of balance people in your life or yourself make you feel guilty either. Because God really did say to me personally, as if he was talking to a third party, quote, I never laid down a law for her, that's me, Amanda, to follow. She asked me what she could do about the headaches, and I told her. I never told her to get rid of them completely, or she'd be wrong, or burn in hellfire. But she does everything a little too hardcore. Way more than I ever intended her to do. It's like I tell her to calm down all the time, that she's doing everything right, and she's doing nothing wrong, and everybody admires her, but she just doesn't believe me. End quote, July 9th, 2018. And I really did say in my heart-to-heart letter, also from July 9th, 2018, quote, Dear Amanda, this is Amanda. Hi. I don't talk to you often, / I never stop talking to you. I've been doing a lot of thinking and soul searching tonight on the Big Five. And the thing is, I think I've been holding you to an impossibly high standard that you couldn't help but fail at. And I shouldn't do that. That is wrong. God doesn't set us up for failure, so I shouldn't set you up for failure either. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry for holding it against you all this time. I get competitive and gung-ho when I get an assignment from God. So any resistance, no matter how human or normal it may be, bothers me. Now I'm learning that's not always good. To be obedient is good, yes. But to be hypercritical when someone is trying and doing their best is wrong. And God would never do that. I'm sorry for doing that to you. And ultimately, I forgive you for being human, because there's nothing wrong with that. God created you to be a human, not a dog. And sometimes humans feel bad or have headaches or need to watch a movie marathon to feel right and good again. And that's fine. God was never trying to take your fun away. I imposed that on you. And I'm sorry. And I love you. I want you to know you are not a bad person with a horrible addiction. Just because someone in the pulpit said it does not mean it directly applies to you. Anyone with eyes could or would see, you are trying, fail or no fail. You really do want to change, and no one would argue with that. They would admire you. People admire you all the time, you just don't notice it. One problem is nobody tells you to your face because they don't think you need it. And you know I don't lie. I'm not physically incapable of lying. So perhaps, as you and I go forward into this new year together, maybe I will, on purpose, cut you some slack and let you off the hook. Because you are only human, and that's okay. It is perfectly fine. And breaking addictions is hard. And you have made a ton of progress. You only have 3 or 4 pizzas, sodas, and or caffeine a month. Once a week versus every day, that's huge. I've even thought of taking those off the list. In fact, I think I will, tonight. You know you don't function at your best when you have a steady diet of those things, and so you can now consciously avoid them. And you do a good job. And I don't acknowledge that nearly as much as I should. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I am not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you, but in a really mean way that is not working or helping at all. It's just making you feel guilty and worse and making you binge even more and tear up your face. I'm sorry. That's really wrong of me. I put that stress on you, not God, so I'm taking it off. We are going to try something new. The goal is to stop feeling guilty. Done! Amanda, you are no longer guilty of anything. Jesus already paid the price on the cross. It's done, it's over, it's finished. Woohoo! I will no longer hold the big 5 over your head in order to make you feel guilty, because that's really wrong. God would never do that. I'm sorry, please forgive me. It sickens me to think that I've ever done that to you. I actually do love you. You're my favorite person. You make me happy all the time. You are extremely creative and energetic, and everybody loves you, for real. Cries, blows nose. You are pure sunshine and happiness, like Susu Heck or Princess Poppy. Even on your bad days, you are still optimistic and hopeful, and you always believe anything is possible because in your world, it is. God does amazing things through you, things you don't even see. It's because you just believe God can do anything. So He does. Because you believed in Him. That's amazing. I may be weak, but your spirit's strong in me, and my flesh may fail, but my God, you never will. End quote. Number 3, take breaks when you need to. We live in a society that tells us work equals good, and rest, breaks, vacations, recess, sleep, recreation equal bad. And rewards and celebrations equal unnecessary. That is an unhealthy mindset to have. Recess is simply a break in normal business that allows us time to rest and relax. Give yourself permission to rest. You are a human being, not a human doing. You are not a machine. Sleep when you're dead is a very bad philosophy. Paris from Gilmore Girls. Learn when to stop and take a break. Knowing when to stop and take a break not knowing when to stop and take a break can cause all kinds of pain in your life. For example, when writing or sitting at your desk, make sure to take time every 45 minutes to get up and stretch your muscles in your back so that you don't end up in pain. Take a break when you need one because you're worth it. When to take a break. Feeling exhausted. Sighing frequently. Muscles are tense. Creativity has been reduced to zero. Hungry. Thirsty. Need to potty. Stiff. What to do during break. Go to the bathroom. Eat. Drink. Stretch. Walk around. Nap. We usually feel that we must press on because the job has to be done. But the truth is that a short break makes us feel better in every way. It also enables us to enjoy what we're doing instead of resenting it. Joyce says, I needed to take time to refresh myself through celebration before creativity would flow again. End quote. It is also so important that we stop to laugh. Number 4. Create balance with work and rest. Joyce says, quote, I didn't know how to trust God with daily life. I was out of balance in almost everything, and I did not realize that celebration and enjoyment are necessary in our lives, and we cannot be healthy spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or physically without them. End quote. Each day we have certain purposes we wish to accomplish, and at the end of the day, it is proper to rest. Not only physically, but also our souls need a rest. We need to rest physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We must learn to control our workload and never let it control us. We don't have to always be working in some way to justify our existence on earth. We should be able to take time off without working and not feel guilty about it. Give your soul a vacation. We can lie on the beach and worry, but that doesn't equal a vacation. The devil wants us worn out, weary, and exhausted. All people grow weary at times. Being weary is not something to be ashamed of. It is simply a sign that we need a break or some help. We all have limits, and that is okay. It is okay that you cannot do it all. In fact, you can't do it all. Understand your limits. When you start to feel down, just take the time to do something up that lifts your mood and helps you feel better. You need to take the time, and if you do, the rest of your task will go more smoothly and joyfully. If you don't, then you're probably headed for burnout, discouragement, depression, despair, anger, resentment, and or self-pity. Number 5. Keep things in perspective. Martha, from the Bible, needed to give herself permission to lighten up. All the things she worried about were not things worth worrying about. She was concerned about how things looked, but the house being perfect wasn't that important. We need order in our homes, schedules, closets, garages, finances, and everything else in life. But when we labor in the flesh without God's help, then we have no rest. All we have is frustration and stress. When we don't stay in rest, our thinking gets distorted, and we lose proper perspective. When our priorities are out of order, it creates stress. We must learn to do what is assigned to us from God, but never waste time trying to do what only God can do. We cannot go beyond what God has given us the grace to do. Until we learn the difference, we will live in stress. Number 6. Celebrate your progress. Focus on progress, not perfection. Progress is vitally important, but perfection is impossible. Don't be so intense about your own imperfection. So what if you're not perfect? Nobody else is either. When God shows us a fault, He does not expect us to fix it. He only wants us to acknowledge it, to agree with it, to be sorry for it, and to be willing to turn away from it. He knows, and we need to know, that we cannot change ourselves, but He will change us if we study His Word and cooperate with His Holy Spirit. If we would remember the miracles God has done in our past, we would not so easily fall into worry and fear when we have new challenges to face. God will work with you by His Holy Spirit and help you become all you need to be. You have a great God and a great calling. You don't have to worry because God has all power and He has everything under control. God isn't keeping a record of every time we fail, but He is excited about our progress, and we should be excited too. Change and progress are beautiful. They are a sign that we are alive and God is working. We need to celebrate progress. Celebrating is one of the ways we say thank you to God. Do your best and let God do the rest. As long as you're making progress, God is pleased. Find ways to celebrate your progress instead of mourning excessively over your mistakes. Do you take time to celebrate when you finish a project, or do you merely begin the next one? If we can take time to make an effort to celebrate the dog going potty outside, then surely we can find time to celebrate our own progress. Connect goal reaching with reward. Reward yourself for progress. Rewarding yourself, even in small ways, motivates you. It gives you something to look forward to while you're doing the job that needs to be done. You need to reward yourself as you work towards reaching your goals. If you don't reward yourself in some way for your hard work, you're missing out on God's plan for you. Remember, He rewards those who diligently seek Him. Hebrews 11, verse 6. After you do something hard, take time to do something you really enjoy that would qualify as a celebration. The real answer is you learning how to celebrate your own progress so that you have the strength to begin the next task without resentment. Somebody give me a task now! Which is a quote from Joe March from Little Women the Musical, and this is a picture that I snapped of all the March sisters from live theater. From my journal on October 26, 2022. Quote, God will work with you at whatever level you are on to get you to the next level. But the constant cycle of performance anxiety, good but not perfect performance, and then beating yourself up with guilt because of your performance was never God's plan. He just wants you to spend time with Him, fall in love with Him, and serve others out of the goodness of your heart that He places into it. End quote. Number 7. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate who you are and what you have. We don't have to wait for something nice to happen to us. We can be creative and take initiative and do something nice for ourselves. You cannot control what other people do, but you can control what you do. Adopt the attitude of, if people don't celebrate me, I'm going to do it myself. Take the time to do whatever is special to you. It doesn't have to take a long time, but it is necessary for joy and maintaining a good attitude. Joy is the fuel we need to reach the finish line of an endeavor with a good attitude. However, most people push themselves to go on with no joy fuel in their tank. Jesus said that he came that we might have and enjoy life, John 10:10. So if we refuse to enjoy it, then it's no one's fault but our own. Take responsibility for your joy and never again give anyone else the job of keeping you happy. Start experimenting and find out what you enjoy. Jesus did not die just so we could be miserable and deny ourselves everything we like and enjoy or think is pretty. God likes beautiful things, and there's nothing wrong with us liking them too. Nothing is wasted if it is used for the right purpose, and blessing yourself at times is the right purpose. Besides, you are worth a little waste. You are valuable and definitely someone worth a celebration. God thinks you are special and he celebrates you all the time. God is pleased with you. God is not mad at you. God delights in you. God will never give up on you. God believes in you. God likes a party. We can have a party anytime we want one. Every day can be a party if we learn the art of celebration. Creatively find reasons to celebrate. For example, celebrate your birthday every year. Celebrating another year of life as a gift from God is a way of honoring Him. Perhaps part of the reason why we don't feel the need to celebrate our birthdays is because we lack understanding on how truly awesome we are. See Psalms 139, verse 13 and 14. Celebrate the ordinary. Cleaning the house is an ordinary thing, but getting the job done can still be celebrated. Celebrate the fact that you know God. What an amazing blessing it is to know God. It should make us sing, dance, clap our hands, and shout for joy. Woo-hoo! Every day is worth celebrating. Celebration strengthens us for battle. Even small celebrations can refresh us. You are only cheating yourself if you don't celebrate. So in conclusion, the answer to some of the most difficult times in life is to get some rest, eat something you enjoy, do something you enjoy, take a nap, and keep repeating the process until you feel you can go again. Eat the cookie, buy the shoes. Go for it and don't hold back. And I have this really cute picture of the book and cookies and shoes at the end. The end. Yay! So we're done. Again, thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you like affirmations, please feel free to check out my affirmations playlist. I will link it for you in the description. If you like my videos and want to see more, make sure you just subscribe. Remember to listen to God and do what He says. And I will see you again in my next video. I gotta go eat the cookie and buy the shoes. See ya.